Hi everyone, this is Dylan, and I'm sorry that I have not gotten a chance to record a video for the past couple of weeks. As those of you who've been following our community posts know, our voice has been really messed up because we got sick due to dust and mold in a couple of motel rooms, I think it was, and so our voice has finally just come back to the point where we feel able to make this video. We've also been waiting for when we got to the new place that we have gone to. We were staying in a city, and it was quite difficult in a lot of ways. It was very much a necessary experience for us to go to the place we went and to spend the time we spent there. It was still way too much for us sensory-wise and energy-wise. And we finally just gotten settled a bit in this new place that is a lot smaller and quieter, and I think that we're going to be a lot better off here for the next little while. So we were waiting to kind of get settled in here, and now that we feel more grounded about that, we feel like we can make a video. So in this video, I'm just going to be talking about some things that have come up for us in our healing process, and I'm going to make an announcement about a new thing I'm going to be doing with this channel. So the main thing that's happened in our healing process has revolved around forgiveness. We had an intense experience a week or so ago where we accidentally found ourselves sitting right across from a place where something significant happened in our recovery from RAMC a few years ago. And the moment we noticed this, we felt this shift in our energy. Like, we felt like we'd been brought to this place for a reason, and some things started opening up. And I can't even remember what it was about, but we were in an intense space of anger at the time because of some stupid bullshit somebody pulled on us. And we didn't want to be in that space of anger anymore. And something compelled us to reach out with our spirit to a family member of ours who is no longer alive. And we just simply reached out with our energy to them. But I guess I shouldn't say we simply did that, because in the past, when we tried to reach out to this person with our spirit, it hadn't worked so well because there was something that we needed to do that we weren't doing. And it turns out that that thing was looking for where the child that they once were is inside us. This is a person who was, as far as I understand, a narcissist sociopath in the incarnation in which they were a family member of ours. And they did a lot of terrible things. But we found a picture of them recently in which they were a little kid, and we could see this grief and devastation in them that made the crimes they went on to commit later make a lot more sense. And so with this picture in mind, we felt compelled to look for that child inside of us, where all of that intergenerational grief had been passed down to us, and to connect to this person's spirit through that child. And the moment we did that, we felt this incredibly powerful sense that it had worked. We felt this deep sense of peace in our heart. We felt all this trauma melt off, and we felt this really, really strong sense of all that anger that we had been feeling leaving us. Because as soon as we connected to this person's spirit, we felt compelled to ask them to take the anger that we had been feeling from us. And we specifically recognized that the anger was tied to them, as they were an extremely angry person who passed anger down onto us intergenerationally. So, yeah, we felt the anger just lift out of us, and this tremendous sense of peace swell up in our heart. And since then, we have been reaching out to a lot of different abusers who are no longer here on earth spiritually. And we've been finding ourselves in a deep space of forgiveness, not just towards them, but towards all sorts of other people who have harmed us. We even felt guided to look up to see how a particular abuser of ours was doing in our childhood. Someone we have not mentioned on here, I don't think, but somebody who was in the cult who did abuse us. And we found out that he had died just a few months ago. And so we immediately reached out with our spirit to him and felt a strong, strong sense of connection back and of peace and healing. And so what we are getting from this is not only all this relief of our traumas lifting, but we're getting this strong sense of peace in knowing that people who have personality disorders, who do terrible things on earth, are not automatically condemned to suffer eternally, like a lot of people believe and would like for us to believe. We are getting this strong sense that when the personality or ego dies, there is something inside a person that goes beyond that, that is not judged in some horrific way for whatever they did when operating out of that ego on earth. And that gives us a lot of hope and healing and peace, because one of our biggest sources of grief is the idea that our parents are unforgivable. Both of them are, as far as we know, narcopaths, like that family member of mine I was talking about earlier. And it's just been very painful for us to imagine them not being forgiven and not moving on spiritually to something better after their lifetimes here. So I don't really know what to say about it, except that I'm finding myself feeling a lot freer, a lot more at peace. A lot of space has opened up for me to start doing more art. And I recently got some inspiration about a musical project that I would like to embark on. And that may not actually come to fruition for a long time, but I feel like I've gotten some direction there, so that's really cool. And I'm finding that a lot of altars are just integrating naturally, and I'm feeling a lot less afraid of being accessed. That's still something that weighs on me heavily, that will probably weigh on me for a very long time, but I am finding myself a lot less in fear of that, and in what I believe to be a very good, very integrative way. So, I can't even see through these sunglasses how long I've been talking. I do want to acknowledge that I'm sure my sunglasses are very triggering for certain people. I know how triggering the shape can be. I want you guys to know that we are, as always, not trying to trigger anybody, but we legitimately have to wear some kind of sunglasses because of our light sensitivity and our autism, and these are the ones that we as a system felt guided to get most recently after we lost our last pair. So this is what we've got, and I hope that you guys understand. One thing we have been doing around art is we have been getting really into drawing magical symbols on our clothes, on our bag, and just in general. We've been finding ourselves really called to certain symbols relating to light magic, and we've just been feeling very called to wear them more on our body. So if you see us wearing triggering things, I hope that you'll keep that in mind, that it's just part of where we're at on our path. Okay, so the last thing I want to say is that we have decided that our next step on this channel is to take a big step back from a lot of the things that we have been working on around it, a lot of the types of videos we've been making, and we want to start reviewing our older materials. We've done a lot of work to build on stuff we've said previously, and to show the progress of our thinking in certain ways over time, but we've been feeling called to really going systematically through our old videos, starting from the first one, and sharing with you guys how we feel about what we said at this point in our integration process. Because while I don't feel like anything I've said in the past is untrue, as far as I know, I really do stand by everything I said, I think, on this channel so far. But at the same time, I have integrated a lot around certain things that would make it possible for me to speak more deeply on certain subjects and expand upon certain things I've said. And I do want to go back through them and be as thoroughly grounded as possible in the fact that I stand by everything I said. And so this will be a way for me to confirm to myself that even though I was a lot less integrated when I first started this channel, I still feel like everything I've said is true. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to go about this, but I think I'm just going to start by watching over my first video and just taking it from there. Okay, that's all I've got for this for now. I feel like I seem different or might sound different than I normally do. I've just been integrating so heavily. I feel like my personality is shifting every day. Okay, that is truly all I have. Thank you.